Amanda.
Yeah.
Did you ever play the game Citizen Sleeper? Citizen?
No.
Citizen, there's Sleepy.
I've been a citizen who has slept before, though. Does that count?
No. This was the first one of these was a game that came out, I think it was like 2 years ago, and it was about a robot that kind of put itself back online, and you're living in a space station trying to survive. And it was this big kind of indie hit. I never put it on the show because it was a lot of text, but
we don't like reading here at Rage Select.
Today we're going to try the sequel, Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector. So welcome back to Dojo, everybody. I'm Jeff.
I'm Amanda.
Yeah, let's get this. Wait, what? Newsletter? No, I don't want your newsletter. Where am I?
There
we go.
You were panic selecting
for
a second there.
Tutorials on. We've got safe, risky, and dangerous.
Do you want are you an experienced player who wants an unforgiving challenge?
Absolutely not.
With no second chances?
Absolutely not. I'm going to pick this. Oh. So we have skill. Whoa. So it looks like we have a few different characters.
Push, skill. Okay. Reboot, focus, machinist. Ooh.
So the machinist, these are different. The sleepers are like the androids. Machinist sleepers are built to repair and modify automated systems used in the corporate resource extraction. Machinists, very skilled engineers, but their isolated work means they often struggle with tasks requiring a direct approach or social engagement. Their focus skill allows them to focus on a single task and boost their dice to excel at. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. So it looks like we've got
+1 stress.
Yeah.
+2 focus.
So the way that this game works is every day you roll a bunch of dice, and then you put the dice into things you want to do, and the higher the number, the better you do at them. So we got an operator. Operator sleepers are built to work with drones and remote machines over local networks to perform corporate resource extraction from a distance. Operators have expertise in working with interfaces and computer systems, but are more physically fragile than other sleepers. Their reboot skill allows them to hack their own systems to reroll dice, a risky but potentially powerful move. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. So
not us.
A crew stress to reroll. I don't know what it looks like we've got like 2 points in interface, 1 point in intuit, 1 point in engage. It's one of those ones where I'm like, guys, I don't know what any of these fucking numbers mean, okay? And we've got the extractor.
Extractor sleepers are built to work at the coal face of corporate resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Extractors have a high level of physical endurance, but their confidence means they struggle with tasks requiring intuition. Their rally skill allows them to motivate those in their team, boosting their crew dice. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance.
Okay. I think I'm going to just pick this middle one. I don't really know. I don't know. Maybe I start over at some point. Yeah, who can say? All right. In the moment before waking, the dark space before conscious thought, you struggle to find the pieces of yourself. Where are they? Where did I fucking put them? Where are my glasses? Usually these pieces come with a particular cadence, each appearing sequentially like the boot process of an old terminal.
My boots. Oh.
First, your body, artificial, compromised, but relays sense data all the same. No, this is a good day to not be able to read with my mouth. Then its context, the breeze of air filtration, the soft contact of your birth in 0G. Then emotion coming into focus, coming into your body, bringing with it that first instinct, that one that has framed your past 100 cycles, fear.
Do you feel it? Your birth
usually
in 0G.
Usually when I boot up in the morning, my first thought is just, fuck this again. God damn it. But the familiar sequence does not arrive. Instead, you are unmoored in space, your body distant, your context silent, even your emotions somehow obscured and scattered.
I wish my context was silent.
Among all that disarray, only one familiar thing arrives. The fear! It is a scrambled, panicked fear. Ooh, scrambled fear. That's my favorite breakfast. The drowning fear, the falling fear, the fear that makes you reach desperately for any stable point. It is the fear that tells you something is wrong. Something is very wrong with you.
This is very similar to John's vows to me when we got married.
Wake up, sleeper! The voice is whispered in your ear. An act that makes you suddenly aware of your head, pulsing in pain, your body rigid with tension. Sleeper. A familiar name, a mind copied, emulated, a body built, implanted, one person sleeping until their debt has worked worked away, their double being made to work, to be consumed, eventually to be destroyed. A proxy, an emulation, a sleeper. That's what you are. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what it was in the first one. Was it was like they're like the Avatar bodies, but then they just throw them away. And then the one in the first game, it was like, well, it was still kind of quote unquote alive.
Yeah.
It still had like like remnants of a mind, so it kind of brought itself back and then kind of cobbled together a life. But you escaped. You remember that now. Broke free of your corporate creators. SN ARP in search of a future. You cannot remember the details of your escape, but you know the fear has been with you ever since. And all of a sudden you remember you have eyes and your eyes flicker open.
Ooh.
Pale
What?
eyes and a pale face. Lane. The name comes with its own specific sensation of fear. One you recoil from instinctively. Sorry to interrupt. A sharp smirk, but this ends here. Wow.
So who tattooed their robot?
I don't know. Maybe it was the guy whose consciousness is in the sleeper. Relentless, cruel, and on your trail. I don't know if that's even a sleeper or not a sleeper.
Yeah.
I
Could
do know
just be a dude.
Pants are super high. He's got
That
like,
was very high-waisted.
he's got one of those like you put on like a
Like a cummerbund?
like in the middle of like the Japanese like
Oh, yeah.
a robe of some sort. You search your mind for more than a name. Is this how you reward me for my generosity? Lane is leaning over your horizontal floating body, looking down into your eyes. I took you in, protected you, gave you a
It
purpose.
feels like it's dangerously close to becoming a very specific kind of fiction.
You try to look away, but to the corners of your vision to find something you understand. Your body does not respond, but I suppose that wasn't enough. He reaches into the pocket of his jacket, receives a small vial. This wasn't enough. This
vial.
A Baja Blast. The vial glitters. The object you know and have known for a long time. Stabilizer, the drug that keeps your artificial body, your emulated mind, from inevitable decay. The only balm for your planned obsolescence. The liquid rolling in the vial fills you with disgust.
When does his pants come off?
I don't know. It's good. I mean, they look like they're about to come off at any minute.
He does look like he's gonna pull the strings that are around his waist, and the whole thing's just gonna go boop and gone.
He looks like anime David Bowie or something.
Oh
like,
yeah, I kind of get that.
I'm trying to figure out what this little flap on the front is.
It's like yeah, it goes above.
It goes above the. Is it under the pants? Is that where you keep your money so that if you get mugged, like they won't look in the? No, okay. Lane pockets the vial, but it would be wasted on you now after what you've done to this body of yours. He looks at you with a palpable disgust.
You know you like this body, Lane.
Lane's eyes scan your body, and as they do, you become aware of the wires and tubes attached to you.
He is staring you down. I'm saying this is so close. You're
kiss,
moments away.
Those that were meant to free you from your dependence from the stabilizer and the control it gives. You were trying to go through like a procedure to remove the addiction, or not like the need for stabilizer. So.
Huh.
They are free, you piece of shit. They don't need you anymore. The voice comes from somewhere behind Lane's head. It's a voice you know, but when you search your mind to try to understand why, you find only dizzying darkness. Shut him up, Lane barks the command. And you hear the sounds of impact, just and then pain from somewhere in the room. You try to move your limbs again, and this time you feel a flicker, the twitch of a finger. You feel the extension and compression of synthetic muscle. Free, are you? Lane smirks. You were free when I disabled your tracker, when I gave you the stabilizer you needed. He scans your body with angry eyes. Now you aren't free. You're just broken. I had such big plans for you, sleeper. I invested in you. I loaned you $14.50. Lane grips your arm hard, and you feel a jolt of reaction. You will the arm to move, but you've ruined all that. Lane speaks louder over the sound of the struggle behind him. I'll try to preserve your body, of course. I have my own uses for it.
They're right there. Come on.
But your emulation, you feel one of his hands searching behind your head. He finds and grips the thick cable running into the port at the base of your skull. I'll burn that out. You'll never play Super Mario Brothers 2 without paying Nintendo again. Oh. Lane jerks forward, slamming across your body, and then spinning away out of sight. You feel yourself rolling. The cable's plugged into you, looping and wrapping around your limbs. What just happened? Somebody just punched Lane in the back of the head?
Yeah, Lane got knocked into you.
Then you feel hands steadying you, pulling cables. You glance around wildly and see someone diligently unplugging you. You meet his eyes. What's in his mouth? What's going on there?
Yeah,
Is he
what-
drinking?
Is he floating?
Is it just? Is it
Why
like
are
a?
you,
Just like a necklace? That's not how.
why do you have shorts on and then leggings on
Uh-huh.
as well?
And yeah.
And then, but you have 2 pairs of bottoms on, but not enough shirt to cover them nips.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
I mean, maybe normally the fanny pack goes right over the nips, and it just got knocked around in the chaos. Hey, he waves a hand in Dave's face. We need to move. Lane won't be out long. He unloops cable from your wrist. Sleeper, help me out here. You blink slowly. Do I know you? Are you somebody that I know? Leans over you and feels his hands on the connector, flicking
Now
switches.
you're just somebody that I used to know.
Releasing locks. Come on. Tugs the connector, pulls you up. You see the room you're in for the first time, filled with tech and terminals, wires waving everywhere, all lit by big windows, looking out on an impossibly bright screen-filled street beyond. The corner of you see the dark shape of a floating body surrounded by a glittering constellation of crimson bubbles.
Bubbles.
Is that blood or Christmas tree ornaments? Ornaments. Can't talk where the damn today are. Move, you were wrestled and shoved towards the door, which slides open in front of you, and then you are out in all the brightness, all that movement, gliding hard towards some unknown destination. Oh.
Hey, we moved.
You come to a stop in a dark alley. The one who guided you here pauses to catch his breath. He doubles over beside a massive life support unit that sends a lukewarm breeze across your skin.
Do we have skin?
Apparently. I don't know. It's a little weird, like, this pose. It's like, are you jumping?
Yeah.
You're very casually jumping?
He's just floating in 0G.
Maybe. You stare at him, trying to recall anything about him. You notice his tattered jacket, his lightweight clothes. You remember the station runs hot. Something about the power and the flow through the place. He looks up and meets your eye.
Do you like what you see, baby?
What's going on, sleeper? He wipes the sweat from his forehead and floats away in his swarm spears. Talk to me.
Who are you? Who is that? Where are we?
I feel like you've just been listening to me talk for 10 minutes. So what do you want to know?
I want to know who he is.
Who
are you?
Who are you?
You see a concerned frown across his face. Don't mess with me, sleeper. That's not funny.
Okay.
He comes closer, eyeing you carefully. What station are we on? He narrows his eyes, waits for the answer. You close your eyes, trying to recall. You force your way through the dark to the image of a station. No, a city growing on the back of a vast set of hexagonal solar cells shadowed by them. You open your eyes.
Okay.
Dark side.
Dark side!
Dark side. The word leaves your mouth like an exhale, an instinct before you heard yourself sound it out. You didn't know it was there.
Mm-hmm. You just got done watching Zack Snyder's Justice League. I mean, you know.
That's why he can't remember anything.
Yeah,
He's just
his
like,
brain was wiped by Zack Snyder
He
movies.
sighs, and who am I? You see something like fear in his eyes, panic perhaps. You stare hard at his face, the slight upturn of his mouth, the intensity of his stare, the rippling biceps. Nothing comes.
The rubber band in his mouth? I still don't know what the fuck that is. It looks like something.
He's just chewing on his necklace,
I
man.
guess, suppose.
He closes his eyes and drops his head, putting a hand to his temple.
Oh, man.
The reboot. He is speaking quietly to himself. Lane interrupted the process, and he lifts his head and stares at you. We need to keep going. We need to leave. He turns and kicks off down the alley. Come on, the rig can't be far.
Okay, so is there like gravity here or not? You're led through the passages and service ways of the station. You try to recall your life here. The texture, the temperature of Dark Side feels familiar, but you struggle to pin some specific memories to it. Focusing hard, you recall waking up in these passages cycle after cycle, the rhythms of the station flowing over you, along with the crowds. You recall desperation and the slow decay of your body that caused it. Then Lane, those pale eyes offering you a glittering vial, stabilizer, the promise of supplying more for your work, a deal he locked you into like a cage. There your memory fails you, but in the dark, beyond that moment, the residue of panic, of fear remains.
Residue of Panic is the name of my punk band.
You were Lane's prisoner, Lane's plaything. You shudder in the cold passage. Wait! Your guide holds up a hand, and you stop your glide using the wall. As you see the tunnel opening up into a wide the tunnel opens up into a wide open bay with a few doors leading to cylindrical tunnels. The docks. They're watching the rig. He nods towards the docks, and you see one of the doors has a couple of figures flanking it, one covered in ornate tattoos, and the other with bright silver implants along their cheekbones. Utsubo. Yes? Okay.
Sure,
All
yeah.
right. Lane's guys.
Utsubo.
He looks at you and shakes his head in frustration. All this, it's not coming back to you, is it? Something catches your eye, and you see he is playing with a coin, nervously turning it over and over in his fingers. He sees you looking and slips it away. Wait, is he Harvey Dent? Is this the origin story for Two-Face? He places a hand on his chest. I'm Seraphim, all right. He looks pained when he speaks. Lane, he was our captor, both of us. We did this so we could escape. We needed to reboot you to break your dependence on stabilizer. He pauses. You know what that is, right? You nod meekly. Blaine interrupted me back there. The reboot didn't complete, and he sighs and
Apparently,
shakes his
the
head.
only thing I forgot was you, so must have not been too important.
We can still make this work. He looks back at the docks. I'll lead them away. You get the docking bridge open. If we make it to the rig, I know how to get us in. Got that?
What's a rig?
I assume it's a ship.
Yeah. Gotti.
Get that door open. He pats you on the shoulder. I know you can do this, you amnesiac weirdo. Seraphim kicks off high and glides into the docks. Over here, shitheads! He bellows to the guards as he barrels through. They immediately push off the wall, giving chase. Ugh.
During scenes, you may encounter skill checks where you can perform certain actions using your skills. Like the dice action you will encounter later, skill checks can have a positive, neutral, or negative outcome. The better the rating of your skill, the more likely you will succeed on a check. The odds of success are displayed when you select the check. You can see more info in the guide, blah, 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 blah.
You wait a breath. You glide across to the door they're guarding. You look, already panicked. The sealed door. This control panel's locked out. You hear a shout from somewhere nearby. You need to get it open. So
positive, or 50% positive, 50% neutral, or 50% neutral, 50% negative.
I say we hack in the door.
Hack in the door.
Seraphim kicks. Oh, no, wait. No, we did that.
Shift the control panel to your fingers. Dance cross keys. Ta, 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 ta. Without thinking.
Put little shoes on him.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Without thinking, you access the maintenance layer and trigger a fire safety venting procedure. The panel drones out a klaxon, and the door pops open with a hiss.
All right.
Go!
Seraphim passed you through the doorway into the docking tunnel. You turn to see the two guards approaching fast across the docks. Quickly glide after Seraphim. Seraphim is already at the rig's door and putting an entry code. The rig's door scissors open, and you both rush inside. Somebody's all fancy and scissored open. It was just open and shit.
A lot of scissor doors in front of people like that.
Quickly! Seraphim grabs you by the arm and drags you.
That's the way he said it. But it is.
The ship's layout hazy in your mind. He dumps you in a flight seat, straps himself into his own. You see him tap a series of buttons as he does talking to himself. Come on! The rig's drive rumbles to life, and Seraphim slams a button on the console. You feel the force of the ship's acceleration as it pulls away.
You know what would be kind of nice?
What's that?
If they put sound effects into the sections that you're reading. So like your fingers tap across the whatever, and then having the like
have it
and like the door noise, and so like we can the theater of the mind help a little bit.
Yeah, as I understand it, I mean, this is like an incredibly small team, and it seems like one of those things where they devoted all of their resources to the writing, basically. Like, because we very little in the way of like of graphics, quote unquote. The ship glides into place onto the connecting bridge. Its automatic systems nudge there by the port's docking protocol as you feel a sense of relief. We got away.
Ooh.
Seraphim burned hard out of dark side. You dropped in and out of consciousness in your seat as the rig made its way across the belt. But now, with open space between you and Lane, you feel fresher, more awake. You also
crisp,
took a shower.
Clean.
Yeah, you do the sound. You can do the sound effects for that. Just a fresher. More awake. Ooh. Seraphim breaks the silence. We're good, sleeper. Troubled, stubborn, and on the run, Seraphim. His eyes don't leave the monitor, and you realize this part of your escape is routine for him. You and he must have docked this ship countless times in your work for Lane. The problem is you don't remember any of them.
Oh, we made it, he whispers, closing his eyes and letting out a sigh. We certainly did.
Yeah, don't be a dick. We haven't said jack shit to this person. Turns and you see a pained look on his face as if remembering something difficult. Have you said this exact thing to him before in the same situation?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I guess. Looks at you chewing one side of his lip, searching your face. Not really, he puffs. Wait.
Chewing on his rubber band.
I'm trying to figure out how you puff a word.
Not really.
Not really. Sarah reaches up, flicking through a set of switches in a practiced fashion.
Flick.
Completing the shutdown. You watch, a little frustrated with your own uselessness. Running the rig, you realize it's just another thing you've forgotten. A clunk that runs through the walls of the ship is followed by a short percussive alarm tone from the pilot's console. Talking complete. That's what we hear. Servant kicks off from his seat, twisting as he glides past you towards the back of the cockpit. His hands find the rails on either side of the door, and he pauses, facing into the corner
If he's
beyond.
always 0G,
Yeah.
why was Lane not also 0G?
Well, Lane's his jacket was like fluttering out behind him. He could have been 0G. It could have been 0G.
Yeah, but why was he standing so straight?
Maybe that's just how he likes to.
He's like, I got
comport
gravity
himself.
boots because I'm not a loser.
Yeah. He doesn't just have aqua socks on like Seraphin over here. He turns back to you, backlit in cold cyan. That'd be cool to see. We need a plan. Cuts around. Lane's not going to let us slip away quietly. I don't know, man. Space is pretty fucking big.
We need to talk. We keep running. We hide here. In space? Are you even at a place right now? I mean,
we're on like
docked,
a space
but
station.
like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why don't we hide here? Seraphin goes around. I hope you don't mean on the rig. He smiles a little as teasing, still a little unsure. Smile fades. Maybe, but on the approach, Hexport looked like a pretty small place to disappear into. Is that where we are? Hexport? There's like all these other, map, rig, push, glitch, cargo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bought ourselves some time. He glances through the cockpit window at the blinking lights of the station. You may not remember Hexport, but I do, and there are plenty of opportunities here for us if we can keep our heads down. He turns back to the corridor. That's what we'll do.
All right.
He pushes off and glides towards the main lock, and you follow, pulling yourself along, hand over hand, in 0G.
How do you think you would do in zero gravity, Amanda?
I'd be probably throwing up.
Just throwing up all the time.
Like nonstop projecting myself.
Maybe that's how you just get around. You just point behind you. And wow.
We already emptied the tank on this thing. He slaps a hand against the ship's insides. So we need to refuel, and that won't be cheap. But if you and I know one thing, Sleeper, it's how to work.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to get myself reacquainted, see if I can turn up any old connections. People that might throw us an easy contract. He glances back over his shoulder. You keep out of trouble.
Low profile. I gotcha.
Seraphin stops at the airlock. Stopping the reboot halfway through, he pulls a worn crew jacket from a locker and starts pulling it on. We don't know what that did to you. He jams an arm into the sleeve. Mm-hmm. I don't want you passing out, and he stops. I'll be fine. Don't baby me.
You're not my real dad.
Fine. Grabs another crew jacket and thrusts it at you. Just put the damn hood up, will you? Take it and slip it on.
Thanks.
Seraphin nods. He stabs at the button to open the lock. The inner door hisses open. And Seraphin glides through. Wait for a little bit, then leave. Anyone looking for us will be looking for two people traveling together. He looks at you in your worn crew jacket, a limited disguise for what is clearly a sleeper.
Uh-huh.
We meet back here later. Any trouble? Same thing. Meet here. He surveys his disguise again and shakes his head. This is a shitty idea that I had that we're definitely doing because it's my idea.
Yeah.
He gives you one last look. Maybe find yourself something to eat. Suddenly, you recognize Seraphin's instinct to look after you. A flash of a relationship, now lost to the reboot.
Aww.
Catch! He throws a handful of something towards you.
Think fast. Ow, fuck.
You manage to grab the projectiles. When you open your hand, you see a stack of cryo chits.
Like cold money?
Those should get you some food. We'll need some more for fuel and supplies, he grimaces. That means odd jobs on the station for both of us.
All right.
Seraphim kicks off and glides down the docking bridge. Don't go too far, all right? He shouts as he leaves. Take it slow!
And with that, he's gone, leaving the connecting bridge and heading into Hexport's docking concourse. You wait for a minute in silence. Think about Seraphim, think about Lane. I need to make a fucking plan, man. Try to think ahead to what might be coming. You need work. That's the first step. But what then? Lane will be coming eventually, and the sooner you can put some distance between you and Hexport, the better. So that's the plan. Rest, resupply, and run. The 3 R's. Shake the thoughts from your head and pull the jacket tight. Let's see what Hexport has to offer. You kick off and glide into port. Okay.
Hexport Exchange. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper 2. My God, that was all just tutorial.
Yep.
The game runs in cycles during which you can perform actions with your dice. Use cryo to buy food, fuel, supplies, and items. Progress clocks towards new scenes and events. You can review tutorials at any time in the guide. Just press pause menu.
So, let's see. We've got some... Okay.
Oh, now we have like
The docks,
options.
the exchange, the rig. Okay, so that's like our... So there's the docks. Okay. Anything else?
Not yet.
I feel like we should head for the docks. What is this left bumper? No active drives.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
What does this button mean? Oh, that just like goes to the rig. The rig is your ship and home. When the rig is docked at a hub, there are multiple areas you can visit. Bunks, use dice to reduce stress. Galley, use supplies to regain energy. Locations will unlock as you play. While the rig is in dock at a hub, your crew will also help you gather resources to contribute to the upkeep of the ship. You can choose which resources they should focus on, and a crew task menu to the left, a random chance of acquiring at the beginning of each cycle. So as I understand it, because I never played the last game, I only basically cycle clock. It says for an event, so the cycle. Oh, okay. I only like kind of heard about it. That the last game all took place on this one space station, and so you really got to know like the people like in that space station.
Yeah.
And it was very focused on like the kind of motley crew of people there
Yeah.
and your relationship with them. But this one, I think the big thing is that you're going to build your own crew and you're go between different stations. So still though, I'm a little disappointed that in the future they're still building everything out of hexagons. I really don't know
What
about
shape
that.
would you prefer?
I don't know, man. Circles? Get some S curves in
I
there.
don't want circles.
Everything's got to be all fucking...
That feels like it would look like retro futuristic.
Yeah.
You know? And all of a sudden it looks really 60s.
Let's see. Perform actions by assigning action dice to them. The higher the dice you assign, the more likely the skill will succeed in action. But your dice will be modified by your skill. Your skill modifier for each action displayed on the right will reduce or increase the value of the dice assigned to the action. Like skill checks, dice actions have 3 outcomes: positive, negative, and neutral. Each action is also rated safe, risky, or dangerous. The more dangerous an action is, the more significant both its rewards and consequences are. For more information on dice actions, check the guide section of the
Those
pause
are
menu.
fate dice. And like board games, you know, fate dice. It's a plus, a negative, or a blank.
Oh, okay.
And
So, since we're an interface, it seems like that trade scrap. It's about identifying materials and cleaning up components. And then impress the brokers. Data brokers are the heart of the exchange. They show off knowledge by discussing decryption. Maybe if you can talk the talk. Let's see. Rules the exchange. The exchange buzzes with the conversation of commerce. It's a place where contracts are found. You just need to look. So we should probably do this, and then we get to pick one of these. Are the dice that we rolled.
Oh.
So we can do like a 5 will be automatic success. I think a 4 is like 50-50, and then these are like
fails.
They're fails, but you can still fail a thing and get stuff out of it. So let's try interface skill prominent.
Start action.
Is that what I do? Okay.
Let's see.
It takes time. Okay.
Neutral.
Oh, and then we got a bonus. That's why I went up to 5. You just progress the clock. Clocks track your progress towards events. Both positive and negative. It could be filled. Okay. You try to advise brokers on ways to break open Solheim data cache as they seem vaguely interested. Do we keep doing this again?
I guess.
Let's try it again.
Neutral outcome. Try to advise broker on ways to break open. Yeah. So
Same thing.
Yeah.
Wait. The exchange buzzes with conversation of commerce. This is a place where contracts can be found. I wonder if we have to fill that up.
Oh, maybe.
Let's see. Can we do like a super success?
100% positive.
Yeah. All right.
And the brokers seem to be a little more comfortable around you.
Okay. Is that anything?
And then the bottom thing is now full?
Yeah, but I don't know.
So.
New location discovered. Common Trade Hall Canteen. You can eat in exchange for cryo. Eating gives you energy and stops you starving. Different foods give you different amount of energy.
Ooh.
Where's our how hungry are we meter?
Solid question. No clue.
What else do we have? There's a trade hall. Did we make like... We have $24.
Yes.
I'm not really sure what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we filled up that thingy. I wonder if that like is something that... Oops, no. I was trying to get to... Can I just like use the... There we go. That. So there's something... Oh, wait. This is different. Buy supplies.
Buy fuel.
Fill supplies. If you have cryo, they can fill your supply capacity. Fill fuel, buy fuel. So these are like you can buy a little bit or a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to need fuel to get out of here at some point. Were we in the dock? No, we've never been to the docks. Chat with the crew. Explore the docks. Okay. Anyway, that was the... Okay, so we had the trade hall and the canteen. Wait, that other area isn't available anymore, apparently.
Oh.
So, okay, well, I guess let's eat.
Sure.
Oh, we got a lot of energy. So we got the docks. We can try...
Oh, man.
Chatting with the crews. I mean...
Scared. Whoo.
Enjoy a few spacers, local place with a few tips. I mean, we basically have nothing else to do,
Yeah, I
think.
do it again. Just hope for a neutral.
Ooh.
Aw.
Wait.
You are a sleeper. A crew shouts across the docks at you. You give them a wide berth.
Oh. You've used all your dice for the cycle. You need to end the cycle at your ship, the rig, to re-roll them.
Oh,
so this
time
is the
for me to get the fuck out of here.
end of the day. The bunks. Okay. So I think these are like... Oh, we do have like... See down there it says like odd jobs. We can get more cryo via odd jobs. Rig bunks, rig galley, and cycle. We should have bought supplies and cooked it at home. In this economy, I don't think we can afford to be slinging cryo around at the canteen.
That's fair. We're in trouble, sleeper. Seraphin leans into the bunks as you're getting up. Without further explanation, he disappears down the corridor towards the rear of the ship. You got it. More sentences than just that. You drift out into the passage, pulling on your clothes, and glide down the length of the rig, the cool air making you shiver. Ooh, Seraphin is a silhouette, silently leading the way.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
Does our character sweat or like poop or anything? Like, because they're like a robot?
Well, they have to eat.
I guess they have to eat. So they probably have some biological functions.
We're assuming. He definitely feels the cold air and shivers.
I was going to say, why sleep in... Why do you have to put your clothes on? Why aren't you just sleeping in your clothes?
Yeah. Stops at the far end, diverting through a side door, shooting you a glance as he does.
Dude, we've got such good dice. I want to use these dice. They're so good.
Really good dice.
Find Seraphin inside, holding one of a tangle of arm-thick tubes that are waving in zero-G engine room. You know what these are?
Tubes?
Tubes?
Thanks, genius. These are the engine's feed line. He waves one in the air. And before you ask, no, they aren't supposed to be waggling loose.
Well, what happened?
Must have been broken loose when we pushed the ship hard on our way out of Darkside. He looks at the mess. We are lucky the reserve tank is empty. Otherwise, he shakes his head. It would have been bad.
Would have been bad.
But he pushes a pipe to the side. No feed from the reserve tank means that the rig's range is limited to the local region only. He thumps the large lumpen housing of the engine. This thing can't take us anywhere far.
Lumpen, huh? That's not a word I've encountered in my life.
Yeah.
Lumpen?
Lumpen?
A large lumpen housing.
Is that correct?
So, are you going to look it up on your phone?
I want to know what it means.
Seraphin size.
And I want to know if I said it right.
Seraphin whacks the engine housing again, harder this time. Just not been our run of luck. Bong bong. He turns and starts gathering the tangled feed lines, his frustration evident in the violence of his movements. We'll need a new set of these, that's for sure. So it's forcing him into a crate. So how about you try to track them down? I'll take a look at things here and see if I can figure out another fix for the reserve tank. He glances up from his work. From what I've heard on Hexport, Factory Row is the place to find ship fitters. Maybe you could do some recon while I sort this place out. It's on the other end of the station. Okay, I'll take a look. Seraphin keeps working. Wait, Seraphin pauses. There's something else. What'd you find?
Okay,
Lumpen?
Lumpen. Okay, so I got, this is on the Cambridge Dictionary. Lumpen, adjective for an object, heavy and awkward.
Okay.
Lumpen, adjective for a person used to describe people who are not smart or well educated and who are not interested in changing or improving their situation.
Interesting. I feel personally attacked. He drops the feed lines as they float, waving in the air like tubular seaweed.
This game just made it personal.
I've heard word that Lane is on the hunt. A message went out everywhere in the local radius of Darkside. He's still looking for us. Shit. You said it, which is why we need those fuel lines. I'm going to try to work something out. Maybe I can improvise a solution. I don't know. I'm no ship fitter. I threw a ship fit one time. It's pretty cool. But when I do, you go hunting and see what you can turn up. Okay, get going. You leave the engine room, the clanking sound of Seraphin's cleanup extras, fuel feed lines. Yeah, but I don't have any money.
Let's go to the...
You discovered a drive. Drives help you track and choose your objectives. The arrow button in the top left corner opens the drive menu where you can choose which drive to track. Once a drive is tracked in, a yellow marker will be placed above any location that relates to that drive. Drives come in two types, major and minor. On completing a major drive rewards 2 upgrade points, and a minor one rewards 1. Keep an eye on the drive menu as you progress to see what new opportunities and objectives are available and those you want to track or pursue. That would be escape Hexport.
Ooh, find a ship fitter.
Okay. Didn't we talk up the motherfuckers last time? Like, who did we talk up?
The brokers.
Data brokers?
Yeah. And
where
then
were they?
We went to the other place and we
Chaotic Darkside Bar.
The bins.
So wait, Hexport canteen.
The canteen's where you got the food. The other place was where you buy supplies.
Oh, cool. I didn't know I could do that.
Oh,
cool.
That's helpful.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, is that Factory Row? So it looks like Factory Row or the Benz probably have.
Yeah.
But I don't have money for the Benz. Let's head over to the factories.
I mean, technically, you got $13.
Search the row. The factory owners of the rows speak mostly in terms of supply and demand, but going door to door might help you find the ship fitter that you need or haul materials. We should be able to input.
Yeah.
We got plenty of dice.
That's 50-50. Oh, kind of risky.
Let's just give it a shot. That's the lowest dice. Yeah, boy.
Hell yeah, baby. You joust a little around scrap contracts, and factory owners respond well to the haggling, eager to meet your challenges.
Well, wait till they get a load of my number 5.
You can't just be talking about your number 5 to people like that.
Bam!
You have a little trust with the factories. Now the trick is not to waste it. No dice. I'm wasting it, baby.
Trust the suppliers or picky about who they work with. But see, I don't know. How do we... What do we do now? Like, I think... Oh, Factory Row.
Every time you fill one of those things up, something else happens.
Okay. Housed as you glide through its cramped passages. Whatever its many bays and rooms once were, they now serve as containers for industry of every kind, whirring manufactories, precisely engineered components with rapidly shifting arms while scrappers hammer incessantly at bent ship plates. Everywhere you look, there is energy and activity, and for good reason. Hexport itself is built on the derelict fragments of an old solar reflector. Oh, that's why it's hexagons. And even the small amount of energy generated by its
Is that
remaining
okay
mirrors.
with you?
Yes, that is okay with me. Smitty, because of course, in a strange, far-off way, because of Dark Side. That place and your memories of it are a muddy haze, but it is hard to forget the glint of its hexagonal reflectors. 10 or 20 times more, yada, yada, yada. Hexport feels almost provincial, but deep in Factory Row, you can almost be back in Dark Side.
If Rage Select had a spaceport, it'd be shaped like a dick.
What's that?
If Rage Select had its own space port, it would be shaped like a dick.
Of course.
For Dongacles.
2 hexagons at the bottom and then a bunch of hexagons going up the middle. Yeah. There you see them. Tubes just like those Seraphim waved in your face. The feed lines.
You'll never guess where you have to dock.
You pushed over to the supply window of the Unimart Carson Supply, and a block of capitals cut from hull plate sits the feed lines. You slip inside.
Where the sound of Factory Row is a little screened and spot a large blurb.
Oh, hello,
That's
Karsten.
a saucy little pose you got there.
A sharp eye glints as a figure looks over his shoulder. He's got some... Yeah, okay, sure.
Are his glasses trying to get away?
Can I help you? His accent is heavy. Oh, I didn't even know that when I did that.
That's amazing.
Hey, how much for the feed lines? I need a bunch of these snakes or whatever.
Sharp clink as Karsten places his tools in the component against a magnetic plate on the wall.
Clunk.
Yeah, that makes sense. Everything's 0 Gs. Turns with surprising grace and begins cleaning his hands on a cloth. Those sharp eyes scan you. But Karsten's thick-set features do not portray the results of his assessment.
Is he missing the middle finger on his right hand?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Custom built those for a client that never collected. He looks at his hand while he speaks, checking for stray oil stains. You have one of the old MEVs then? MEVs? I'm trying to figure out how you would say it. He sounds out the letters in a way you don't recognize as he speaks.
Wait, he sounds out the letters in a way you don't recognize, like you have one of those old glarp cats then? Like, what does that mean? In a way you don't understand. You try to recall anything. That's right. I was going to see one of those. 400. I don't have 400. It's expensive, you know. It's a shame, but it's just what they're worth. However, I'm more of a bartering type myself.
Barter sounds good.
Okay. Well, favor I need a crew for. Well, you look like you might be a good fit. Tucks his hand in cloth. I know of an old Solheim wreck out there. Very old. Pre-collapse. It's tucked away in a dead zone, so no one's really cut it. Not only that, but Solheim derelicts have a habit of triggering nasty security protocols, so it's best to leave well enough alone. But a salvager like you with an old Solheim rig, I bet you wouldn't even flinch. So, well, you know what? We're pretty much out of time, which isn't surprising given that we've just been sitting here reading the story out loud. But I hope you all have enjoyed story time.
Do you guys want us to do more audiobooks? Jeff will read and I will criticize the writing.
Well, we're going to go onto Audible and just make a whole new series of books where it's like, it's
like MST3K for reading
for books. Yeah. Oh, here it's I don't know. Take your pick. Oh, hello,
Junie.
It's Wuthering Heights, but then we make fun of Heathcliff and the moors the entire time.
I'm just gonna assume it's Heathcliff the cat.
Heathcliff, yeah.
It's like a trash mermaid.
Yeah. Everybody's dressed in a real podge of Hodges.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, this game is on Game Pass. I think that everybody should
pretty neat
understand. I think it like the first one was very, very, very well regarded, and I always I always had it in my back pocket as something we could look at, but I was afraid that it might just end up being this because it's very much just text. Even Disco Elysium or Case the Golden Idol or The Root Trees Are Dead, even those other games have more, but this is very just choose your own adventure. And then what you choose, you just get more text out of it. Like it's got the little dice mechanic and it's kind of management simulator, but like, you know, and it definitely gets more complicated as time goes on. Obviously, we're just in the very beginning here. And as I understand it, the game makes it seem more dire than it is. Like the writing will keep telling you like you're always on the edge of just dying, but then it's actually a lot harder to completely fuck up and die. Like, you can get on like a bad roll of dice that will kind of fuck you up a little bit, but you can always kind of dig yourself out of it. Or at least that's what I heard about the first one. So, anyway, in the meantime, like and subscribe. Let us know what you think down in the comments. And then maybe, just maybe, go to patreon.com/RageSelect. Help us out. Kick us some bucks. Get some bonus videos in return. Amanda and I just finished up The Rise of the Golden Idol.
It was fun.
It was funny. When I got done rendering that video, I was like, oh, we had like 10 minutes left. There was only like 10 actual minutes of deduction in that last episode.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got all kinds of new stuff. Oh, we can now go to the map screen?
Ooh.
Oh, so we can go.
Yeah, because we're going to travel out to do that.
Wait, how do I choose a thing? Oh. Extract one data core. Oh. We need more fuel. And we need more supplies. So we gotta get tanked up before we can do that. Anyway, yeah, patreon.com/RageSelect. It is how you help us out. It keeps us in business. You get a shitload of bonus videos. You also get access to the Discord server. I know that right now things are a little strange, but you know, it takes money to keep old Rage Select running. So
yeah,
if you got an extra $5, I mean, what does that even get you these days? Like one candy bar? Like
half an egg.
Half an egg. That's one half of one egg. All right. So yeah, give me an egg and I'll keep doing Rage Select. Then we're going to wrap it up. We'll see you tomorrow with another brand new video. Bye, everybody.
Bye.